Well, look, they should be very scared, but it's not just about late game Luka, it's about skinny Luka.
Late in the shot clock, 4 seconds, got it from Kleba, again late in the clock, in desperation, he flicks it up, and that is Luka Magic right there!
Sometimes over the course of a long summer, we tend to forget just how extraordinary Luka Doncic is. Forget the skeptics, because this Slovenian sensation is rewriting the playbook on what it means to dominate the game. Luka is out here making the impossible seem routine, night in and night out. We're talking about a player who leaves no room for limits, and he's not even close to his final form. This is the story of how Luka Doncic has shattered expectations. Remember all those doubters on draft day, questioning if he had the athleticism to hang with the big dogs? Well, let's say their critiques have aged like fine milk. Luka doesn't fly like Vince Carter, but he outsmarts, outplays, and outshines defenders effortlessly. Already one of the best in the game, and he's only going to get better. Doncic is rewriting the rules of what it means to dominate the NBA, and today we're going to break down exactly how he's defying those limits. Stick around, because we're about to uncover the magic that makes Doncic a true NBA marvel. Back in his rookie year, Luka gave us a taste of his shot-making magic. The Mavs were down by 3 with just 0.6 seconds left on the clock against Portland. Then Luka fired off a jaw-dropping floater from the baseline that miraculously rattled in, keeping his team's hopes alive. That moment right there was when we all realized that Doncic was something special. But let's rewind a bit. Did you know that Luka won the EuroLeague MVP at the tender age of 18? The EuroLeague, the second best basketball league on the planet, had an 18-year-old MVP. That's the same age as a high school senior. It's almost like he was destined for greatness from the very beginning. Now here's the kicker. Luka was the 3rd pick in his draft class in 2018. Some doubted his abilities, questioning if he had what it took to make it to the NBA. But Luka actually played in an NBA preseason game when he was just 16 years old. Fast forward to his 19-year-old rookie season, and Luka continued to prove his doubters wrong. Remember that game against the title-contending Houston Rockets? In the final 3 minutes of the 4th quarter, he went on an absolute tear. He scored 11 crucial points, including 2 incredible threes, a floater, and a step back that sealed the victory. For those who still had their doubts, well, they should have known by then that Luka was the real deal. Playoff dominance. In his first playoff game, Luka played against a tough Clippers team with great defenders like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And he scored 42 points and shot an impressive 62%. A year later, in his first Game 7, he took it up a notch. 46 points and 14 assists. A lot of folks were convinced, but there were still doubters lingering, questioning his ability because he hadn't won a playoff series yet. Fast forward to his second Game 7 just a year later. Luka scored 35 points with only 19 shots in just 30 minutes. He made a comeback from being down 0-2 and defeated the team with the best record in the NBA. Yet again, despite all of this, some people were still reluctant to recognize his greatness because the Mavericks couldn't clinch the NBA Finals. But come on. Luka Doncic is the definition of inevitable. If you're not convinced yet, let me drop some knowledge on you. Luka did something that not even the legendary Wilt Chamberlain could pull off. Wilt scored 100 points in a game once, and his career averages are a staggering 30 points, 22.9 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game. The man once averaged 50 points per game in a whole season back in 1962. Now, here's where Luka steps in. He dropped 60 points, 21 rebounds, and dished out 10 assists. That's a 60-point triple-double. In the history of the NBA, there's only been one other, and Luka is the first to achieve a 60-point, 20-rebound, 10-assist game. Wilt? He never did that. He might have averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds for a whole season, but he never had a game like this. Better than ever. In the 2022-23 season, when the Mavs play-in tournament hopes were crushed, Luka didn't dwell on it. Instead, he told reporters that he needed to level up his game. Remember, this is the guy who led his team to the Western Conference Finals not too long ago, and this summer, he put in the work to elevate his skills and showed up in better shape than ever before. And guess what? It's paying off big time. In Dallas's last 2 games, Luka has been on an absolute tear, averaging 41 points, 11.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, and a steal. That's not just good, that's next level. In the season opener, he led Dallas with a 30-point triple-double, but against the Brooklyn Nets, he took it to a whole new level. Luka torched the Nets for an unbelievable 49 points, and here's the kicker. He drained 9 three-pointers, and what's even more impressive is that he had 0 turnovers. But it gets crazier. In that game, Luka pulled off a shot that can only be described as insane. He nailed a one-handed bank shot three-pointer, sealing the win for the Mavericks. It was so outrageous that even his teammates couldn't help but crack up and shake their heads during the timeout called by the Nets. Even his former teammate, Dorian Finney-Smith, who's been in the game for a while, couldn't help but be amazed. He said, "I've seen it a million times. He plays around, and he honestly works on those shots. You can't really fault him. I feel like we should have not let him get the ball back. That probably would have been the best option. He couldn't even see the rim, and he made that mug." When Doncic was asked about how he managed to sink that insane one-handed three-pointer, he simply said, "I don't know. I just saw it was like 2 or 3 seconds left. I said, I just got to put it up, you know? Got to touch the rim so we can have a chance of getting the rebound. But yeah, I don't know how I made that." And this isn't a one-time thing. Luka had a historic start last season, and he's not slowing down. He's got his eyes set on rewriting the record books again this year. In the NBA world, Luka is the one calling the shots, and the rest of us are just lucky enough to witness his greatness. Get this, Luka is just 24 years old, and he doesn't turn 25 until February. Now, imagine what a 27-year-old Luka looks like. How about a 29-year-old Luka? The truth is, he is the most startling basketball player on the planet, and the crazy part is that nothing he does is that surprising anymore. We just know, and it's astonishing. Unchanged role. Now, you might be wondering if the arrival of Kyrie Irving to the Mavericks has changed Luka's role on offense. The short answer is no. Luka is still the linchpin of their offensive game. He's the man who initiates and orchestrates everything on that end of the court. Whatever Luka wants to do, he has got the green light to do it. In the recent matchup against the Nets, Doncic dished out 7 assists, and truth be told, he could have had even more if his teammates converted some open looks. Luka Legend was the prime focus on the defensive end for the Nets, and how he managed to manipulate Brooklyn's defense was a masterclass in basketball IQ and game reading. But the true marvel of Luka's game is his pace. He never seems rushed. Luka plays at his own tempo, and whether he's up against formidable defenders, he's comfortable. It's a level of composure and control that's remarkable. And when he is on the ball, it's as if he controls it effortlessly with a string. He has an amazing talent for throwing off defenses, but there's more to this than meets the eye. Luka's got this uncanny ability to score at will, anytime, any place. It's not just about getting buckets, it's about orchestrating plays. His passing ability is a rarity, and he's got the confidence to believe that his only limits are the boundaries of his imagination. Mix all that, and what do you get? A potential all-time great. He's redefining what's possible on the court, and the crazy part is, it feels like he's only scratching the surface. He's nothing like the point guards who ruled the game 30 years ago. He's setting the stage for the future of the position. Standing tall at 6'7" and weighing in at 230 pounds, Luka has total control over the game. The future of the league is in good hands with this guy, that's for sure. Now, before you go, make sure to click play on our next video. It's over, Mikey Williams just lost his career. We're diving into the latest on this young phenom, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.